Hello again everybody, this is Dakian once more with a video for you about my painting progress. It is Monday the 31st of July 2017, last day of the month. And I've not gotten quite as much done this week as some others, but I did finish the 4 European advisors, as they're called, from Cobblestone Castings, including Mr. Hook here, who oops, sorry. I didn't paint them as being from any particular countries, nationalities. I had no preconceived notions of what they were supposed to be, and so I just did whatever colors that seemed logical or interesting, or both. I mean, the one exception probably is this dude, because he has a star on his cap, and of course I painted it red. What else would it be? It could hardly be anything else. I also did finish this little steampunk gal. I don't know if I'm entirely happy with her. The issue with the Bombshell Babes line, Bombshell from Bombshell Miniatures, is that the detail is so very, very fine that it's hard to paint normally. You almost just have to go in with glazes and washes. And I did not do that for the dark blue here. And to my eye, that makes it stick out a little bit. It doesn't really fit in with the rest. I'm not sure. But oh well. The remainder of my accomplishments for this week are in the form of monsters. Big monsters from the Reaper Warlord series. And I've just kind of... because there's no models for this, I mean, there's no real-world analogs, you just paint it as whatever seems to make sense to you. Whatever colors strike your fancy. And generally speaking, I'm pleased with how these turned out. I kind of, in hindsight, like my color choices fairly well. With the possible exception of this guy. This guy is maybe a bit garish with the blue tentacles, but I don't know. I could have highlighted the lower tentacles more, but the thing is that would pull attention very much to this section of the miniature, and I'm not sure that's supposed to be the focal point. I think the focal point is supposed to be more the top of it. You're supposed to notice that more. So actually I should have gone the other way. I should have darkened the lower tentacles even more, perhaps. Made them fade away a little bit. But I think he's effective in the final analysis. So, what am I working on? Well, what's on my work table at the moment is the last of my, well, my current batch of cobblestone miniatures. Let's see, it's the Jolly Good Chaps in the front row and the American Adventurers in the back row. And for my usual strategies, I've started with this. I've painted from the inside out: skin, hair, eyes, mouths, and then some metallics, the guns. And I've started a little bit, you can barely see it, started applying some base coats to some other areas, but haven't got very far yet. Just primed are the Yeti. Now, with the Yeti, I've primed them using a technique that I intend to use more once I get my airbrush. More on that later, by the way. And it's a kind of pre-shaded primer layer where I've gone in. I've used 3 different cans of primer: a black, a gray, and a white. And so started out with the black all over, then sprayed the gray at a side and top angles, and the white just from the top angle, just from above. And this sort of gives me a gradient pre-established. So, I mean, in a way, these guys, they look nearly done, don't they? I mean, because they're supposed to have white fur. And the gray and the black provide shading for that. This is, you know, Yeti. But, of course, I'm going to do more on it. The final thing I have prepped is all these dark sword minis that are for the DVD project, as I call it, the learning the techniques from the Jen Haley and Forster DVD, and they're simply primed white because that's what they do on the DVD. They're primed white or maybe a light gray, I'm not sure, and everything is painted over that. So that's what I'm going to do as well. This is quite a lot on my plate, and so I've decided I'm not really going to start prepping anything new for next week, because prep does take a little bit of time after all, so I want to focus on painting, and so the Adventures and the Yeti I hope to have finished by next week, and at least gotten started on these guys. That's ambitious of me, but well, it's good to shoot for the stars. So, since I'm not gonna have any section on next projects, let's go straight to the numbers and then the new arrivals. And this week I want to show you my latest package from Reaper Miniatures. Now, the reason I ordered from them was to get the latest 25th anniversary model, who's called Darius the Blue, who is a wizard. He doesn't look very blue, it looks great, but the paint job on the website, he's very blue. And I also, while I did that, picked up 3 more boxed sets. Now, these are the Pirates of the Dragonspine Sea, Pirates of the Dragonspine Sea 2, and Pirates of the Dragonspine Sea 3. So these are all sets of collecting the pirate minis that Reaper makes, because I have this plan for a future fantasy seagoing campaign. I think I've mentioned this at some point, where the place will encounter pirates, and they will eventually encounter the Isle of Dread, which is full of dinosaurs. So I am gradually collecting both pirate and dinosaur and other minis that are appropriate for a Lost Island setting. I don't know when I'll ever actually get around to playing this, but you know, I plan long term. But I want to take this outro moment to mention a few other things that are happening with the painting and the channel. I mentioned last week that I was getting an airbrush. I was ordering it the next day. I have placed the order. It has not arrived yet, and so I became curious. Why does it take them more than a week to ship it to me? So I went back to their website and looked around, and I found out something new. Which, when I ordered, I got a 10% discount on, and I didn't question that. I thought, well, maybe they're having a summer sale. It's nice of them, you know. I'm happy to save some money. When I dug a little bit deeper into it, I realized why the discount was. It's because they're not going to ship anything for a few weeks. They will ship stuff at the end of summer, at the mid to late August. And that's why they're giving a discount on orders placed during that hiatus. I assume they're on vacation. It doesn't say, but I assume that's why why the delay. So yeah, it means my airbrush, it won't be here for another couple of weeks, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to find other projects to work on that don't require an airbrush. Anyway, that's just a minor speed bump. A more serious thing that I noticed when I was putting together last week's video. You see, I film these clips on my little compact camera, and then I upload them to YouTube, marked as private, and then I use the YouTube video editor, an online tool, to stitch them together into the finished product with music and titles and transitions and all this. And then I make that public. And then I delete the clips, so I don't have a channel that's chock full of crap video that nobody that doesn't do any good. So that's my process so far. However, when I was editing last week's episode, there was a message at the top of the screen saying that the YouTube video editor is being removed. They're going to take away that tool on September 20th. So, okay, they gave us 2 months warning. That's nice of them. There's no explanation as to why. Possibly they want to lessen the amount of video they need to store. I mean, I guess a lot of people were doing what I did, but weren't cleaning up after themselves, weren't deleting their clips. And so there's a lot of junk video on their servers. Possibly. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, the upshot for me is that I need to start editing video at home on my own hardware and then uploading it. And the issue is I cannot do that at present because my current hardware isn't good enough. I have a desktop PC that is really, really old. It is practically geriatric. And I have a laptop PC that is just very weak. It's a very cheap model that I bought just for word processing and web surfing, and it doesn't have the stamina to do anything else. I have tried on both these machines to edit video, and well, the editing isn't the issue. The issue is the rendering. When you've completed the edits and they need to render a new video, both these machines overheat and shut down when I try to do that. So I need a new PC. I need a new computer. Oh well, I was sort of, I had that in the works anyway. I just need to move up the timetable for when I get it. However, I might not have it up and running by September 20th. Here's the thing, because I wasn't planning for it, I've splurged a lot of money on other things, like the airbrush, for example, and I have some other bills coming up. My student loan down payment is due in August. And I don't want to buy something that's just good enough. If I'm going to buy a new computer, I want to buy one that's really good, that's up to my specifications, that does everything I want it to do. And so that probably means I need to save up some money from the coming 2 paychecks, at least. Yeah. I'm not exactly sure yet exactly how this is going to pan out, but I thought I'd give you advance warning that at the end of September, the channel might go on hiatus for a few weeks. Not more than that. I mean, I might be gone for 2 or 3 weeks. That's going to be it. I mean, yeah. and then we'll hopefully we'll be up with new and improved videos if I edit them myself. That'll give me the push I need to start looking into, do I want to change something with the titles, with the music, and you know, blah blah blah. So hopefully it's all for the best in the end. Anyway, that was a long ramble where I've updated you on a lot of things that are happening. I hope you endured to the end. If you did, click like, subscribe if you haven't done so already, comment if you feel the need to comment, and I will see you, for now, next week. Same time, same channel. This is Dakian, signing off.